Hello, and welcome to Changomatically. I'm your host, Freddie Shaban, and today I would like to share with you the top 10 life lessons I learned living almost 58 years on this earth with many experiences throughout my life in a lot of different ways. So, here we go. Number one, the environment one grows up in will shape their character for years to come. I was raised by a very loving mother and a very domineering father. He worked all the time. We never saw him. He never really taught us a lot about life, except that you're only worth what you have in your pocket and some other lessons that he thought were best to turn down to us. Well, fact of the matter is, I struggled with certain character traits that were built because of the environment I grew up with from, say, age 1 to 13. And I had to live with those characters for many, many, many years until finally I decided that I needed to change those character flaws. So the environment is extremely important of how it builds your own character moving forward in life. Number two, society's emphasis on mental and not emotional intelligence is a detriment to our future. So growing up, there was a lot of emphasis on you got to study, you got to get good grades. That's how I was raised in the 60s and 70s. And there was never any emphasis or lessons about how we felt. There was never any talk. I cannot remember, not once, did my parents or their friends or my uncles or any relative or my own friends or whatever, did they ever talk about how we felt and why. So emotional intelligence was never taught, it was never addressed, and therefore I was an emotional retard for many, many, many years to come. And even today, at 58 years of age, I'm still working on my emotional intelligence, meaning looking within myself and figuring out why do I feel the way I feel at a certain time and point. Where does that feeling come from? Why do I get angry? Why do I get upset? All these culminate in emotional intelligence, being able to break down your feelings and your emotions and figuring out where the origin is and see how about, if not fixing it, at least having the proper tool to deal with it. Number three, it is unwise to connect one's self-worth with material wealth. As I mentioned earlier, number one, I was raised by a father that thought you were only worth what you have in your pocket, aka money. So I was raised with that thought my entire life. And I gotta tell you, up and until 3 years ago, when I started realizing that self-worth has nothing to do with how much money you have, is when I started realizing that my life was built and based on fallacy, on just accumulating wealth. And this is why when I had wealth, I did not have happiness. I did not have peace. I did not have self-fulfillment. So it is very, very, very important not to raise our children connecting their self-worth with money only. Success could be a part of it as far as financial, monetary success. However, self-worth must come from other things. Okay? Self-esteem, self-respect, and all the other things that encompasses our self-worth, not just money. Number four, people in your circle of trust will make or break you. And trust is earned, not given. It took me many, many years to learn this lesson. My nature is very trusting. I'm a very trusting person, a very trustworthy person. And growing up, I thought that everybody was the same as me. Well, lesson after hard lesson, when I was getting screwed over and over and over again by the people that were closest to me, I finally began to understand one component of this equation, which is that you cannot just give trust. You cannot start people at 100% in trust. You have to start as close as you can to zero. Because believe it or not, those people within your circle of trust, your best friends, your significant other, your family, those are the ones that could actually make you or break you. Why? Because those are the ones that knows the most about you. They have all the information that they need or could use against you. So one must be very, very careful who you let into your circle of trust, and also start them off at zero, not 100, not 50, not even 25. Start them off at zero as much as you can. Number 5, health and time are the most valuable assets we own. You cannot replace time, and you better take care of your health, because you could have all the money on earth, you could have all the wealth, all the materialistic stuff, all you fill in the blank, whatever is important to you. If you don't have your health, you're not going to live to enjoy everything that you built, right? Quality of life, especially when you're getting older. Okay, at my age, I have to make sure I'm very healthy, because not only am I responsible for my own life, I have other people that I love and care about that I'm responsible for theirs as well. So it's very, very important I take care of my health. And luckily, I've done that pretty much all my life. No drugs, very rarely any alcohol, no smoking, working out in the gym. So it's a lifestyle, staying healthy, and try to stay stress-free. So, and time is so valuable, and I've lost so much of it throughout the years from bad decisions and being around the wrong people and doing the wrong things, especially illegal things in my case, which cost me a lot of time. I can tell you, I've lost probably around 10 years of my life, minimum, plus all the other years of learning the hard way. So, very important, time and health. Keep those in mind. Number 6, we alone are responsible for everything that transpires in our life. We can shift to blame all we want, and I used to do that all the time. Oh man, this person screwed me. This person did to me. Shame on them. Shame on... Until finally, about 4 years ago, I looked in the mirror and said, wait a minute. I'm actually the common denominator here. I am the person responsible for everything that happens to me. So if a person is being themselves and I let them into my circle of trust and they screw me, guess what? The onus goes right back on me. I'm the one who allowed them into my life. So it's my responsibility to make sure that I cover myself at all times with good people, with good decisions, with solid knowledge of what is good for me and what is bad for me. So it's very, very important to understand and remember that we are responsible for everything that transpires or happens in our own life. Take responsibility, take action, do it right, and make it happen. Number 7, there is no such thing as a bad experience if a valuable lesson is learned. So true. Every single experience is a good one as long as you come out learning something that's going to help you not commit the same mistakes in the future. I cannot tell you how many times I've had bad experience after bad experience after bad experience from all my bad decisions in the past. I cannot tell you, no matter how bad the experience is, I always learned a valuable lesson that made it a positive for me. So it's the takeaway from that experience that's important, not so much of the experience itself. Look, we're all going to go through life. We're going to go through hard times, trials and tribulations, blood, sweat, tears, all that. The most important thing is to learn from them and not keep repeating the same mistakes. So, no bad experience, learn from it, it's all good. Number 8, we all have flaws. It is up to us to be honest with ourselves, discover the weaknesses within our character, and work on converting them into strengths. So taking those weaknesses, figuring out why we have them, what character traits do I have to work on in order for me to convert those weaknesses into strengths. I'll give you an example. One of my weaknesses in my character was my self-worth. I thought, I really believed it because of my father, that I was worth only what I had in my pocket. So all my life, I chased that my almighty dollar. And what happens? Get rich or die trying at any cost, right? And believe me, I fell and fell and fell over and over again. So finally, when I finally looked in the mirror and said, hey, you know what? This is not right. This has caused you a lot of heartache and headache, a lot of time. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? I had to start working on my self-worth and disconnected from just money. Okay, look, I had to tell myself, look, you're a good guy, you're a helpful guy, you always do your best, okay? You work really, really hard, you have great intentions, you're a good guy. You don't have to have a lot of money to make yourself feel good about who you are as a person. So, extremely important to look at our flaws, be honest with ourselves, discover those weaknesses in our character, and do the work, get the right tools in order to convert them into a strength. Number 9, self-awareness is crucial to all aspects of our existence. Hey, listen, I went for years not knowing what the hell. I was an imposter. I thought I had to be this guy, and I had to be this drug dealer, and I had to be this person or that person to just feed my ego, right? And went through life, made a lot of mistakes, fell, kept getting up, fell, kept getting up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Keep falling, keep getting up. And then finally, when I looked in the mirror 4 years ago, I realized that, hey, you better start really looking at yourself and figuring out what the hell is wrong with you. You got a lot of anger. Oh, I cannot begin to tell you, and I'll explain more in future videos, but I really had to be self-aware, to really look in the mirror, really look deep within myself to figure out what the hell was wrong with me. Why do I do what I do? Why do I think the way I think? Why do I feel the way I feel? And just fix them. So self-awareness is the beginning, because once you realize that there's something wrong, that you're doing something wrong, you're being abusive, or you're not being cool to your neighbor or your loved ones, or whatever the situation may be, step 1 is to be self-aware that what you're doing is not really right. And then you go from there. And last but not least, number 10, one will never find happiness until they know who they truly are on the inside. That is so true. Sometimes we go through life thinking, oh, if I get the big mansion, I'm going to be happy. If I get the Lamborghini, I'm going to be happy. If I get the yacht, I'm going to be happy. If I travel the world, I'm going to be happy. Look, that could be all true. That could be all good up to a certain point. But I'm talking about inner happiness. When at the end of the day, when you take everything away, take everything you have away right now from you, could you tell me that you are really happy with yourself? I was not happy with myself. I retired in 2016. I had over 8 figures. And I thought when I had even 7 figures, I'll be happy. I had the big house, I had the cars, I had money, I had cash, I had everything. So I thought, but I was miserable. Why? because I had a lot of things to work on. I was not self-aware. I had a lot of character flaws that I need to work on. I had everything I needed to do in order for me to get to the point where I am today, which I'm really happy. Even though I don't have all these things I used to have, I've lost everything. But one thing I gained by losing everything is me, my true self, my true happiness. Well, there you go, guys. Sharing is caring. My only goal and mission on this channel is to share with you everything that I learned from my own experiences. This way, hopefully, it will motivate you to do the same if that's what you need to do, so you can find your own happiness, find your own way. And I can only tell you what happened with me, and I can only share it with you, and you can go ahead and apply it to whatever it is going on in your life. Because my only wish is to help you be the happiest person you can be, the healthiest person you can be, and the most vibrant person you can be. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay happy.